Hello and welcome back to Homegrown Theater Camp. I'm your director Mackenzie, and today in rehearsal we will make the rabbit's fan, costume the creatures of Wonderland, and put it all together in a dress rehearsal. This is Alice in Wonderland Tech Day. But let's not get ahead of ourselves. Warm-ups come first. Now for you, it's just a normal day. But for us here, well, what day is it, Sasha?
Ice cream day.
It's ice cream day. So while we go get ice cream, you go warm up. All right, you're energized through proper breathing and warm-ups, and I'm energized through excess of sugar. So we're ready for rehearsal. On Tech Days, we go through each technical element and discuss ways that they can be incorporated into the play. This week, that play is Alice in Wonderland. We'll begin with props. Now there's a props list at the end of the script, and you can either find or make these props. But you can also pantomime them, like we talked about yesterday. The rabbit mentions having gloves and a fan. For instructions on how to make that fan, we go to our head technician, Chandler Boyte.
Hi, welcome back. I'm Chandler, and today we're going to be building the prop, the fan. Let's go. All right, so to build our fan, we're going to need 2 pieces of paper. I have 2 pieces of printer paper. Any color of paper works as well. We're going to go lengthwise and fold our pieces of paper about 1 inch wide. You can use a ruler to help if you like, but eyeballing it works just the same. When you fold them, make sure you flip the paper over with every fold so that you can make sure that your folds are similar size. They don't have to be the exact same size though. All right. And one more. That last one's a little small, but that's okay. We can work with that. Now, you're gonna wanna pull them apart and flip one over so that they can go inside one another like this. You're gonna want to get some tape and tape those 2 pieces together. Try and line them up to the best of your ability, like so. Whoa, I'm butterfingers today. Now, re-accordion it all back up. Crease your folds. And about however long you want your handle to be, I'm gonna say about maybe 3 inches, you'll want to tape around. Like so. Spread out the fan, and voila.
Thank you, Chandler. If there's something that doesn't work for your particular production, be it a prop recommendation or a stage direction, you can change it. The script is more what you call guidelines than actual rules. So if you run into some sort of problem when you're rehearsing that you can't get over, you can figure out a creative way around it. Alice is always moving and growing in size and shrinking and going on all sorts of wacky adventures. So it's difficult to add extensive sets into the play. But I will recommend that for the Mad Hatter scene, you use a chair or a small table or something just to help signify the tea party. This will help differentiate that place with other places seen throughout the play. This will help to establish place, but even that you don't necessarily need as long as you can establish where you are when you're performing the play. If you have more time, you can establish each place using set dressing. So for instance, you could have flowers in the Queen's garden. But remember to just focus on the performance if you don't have those things. If you have musical talent or sheer confidence, you can include music into your performance of Alice how you see fit. We've also included a list of songs at the end of the script that you can play if you'd like to play songs before your performance. Concerning lighting, just perform in a well-lit area either inside or outside so that the audience knows what's happening. Now onto costumes. You can either make these as simple or as detailed as you like depending on what's in your home. You want to start all your costumes with a base of all black clothing or all plain clothing, and then add simple pieces on top of that. Now onto costumes. You can make these as simple or as detailed as you like depending on how much time you have and what you have around your house. But you want to start all of your costumes with a simple base of black or plain clothing, and then you can add a few bold costume pieces on top of that. The reason we use a few bold pieces is to make it very clear which character you're playing to the audience. This makes it a lot easier for them to understand what's happening, especially if you switch characters a lot. Many of these bold costume pieces can be headwear. For a look into headwear, we go to our costume designer Karina Hinkley, who I have been informed is not a wizard.
Ah, no wonder you're late. Why, that watch is exactly 2 days slow. Let's make a Mad Hatter hat. The materials you'll need for this are 4 pieces of construction paper, scissors, tape and glue stick, 2 pens, a ruler, and some bobby pins. First, measure your paper in centimeters and remember that number for later. Then roll your paper into a cylinder and tape from the inside with no overlap. Once it's taped, it should look a little something like this. And now you're going to want to cut little tabs in the hat 1.5 centimeters in and about 1.5 centimeters apart. So you get things that look a little bit like this. When they're all cut, fold them down and it should look a little bit something like this. Alright, now take your original paper measurement and divide that number by 6.28. For me, that's about 7.3 centimeters. Now take a piece of scrap paper and cut out a strip of it, and you're going to want to poke a hole in the bottom of that piece of paper. Stab it through somewhere at the bottom, and then from that point, which will be your stabilizing point, measure up. For me, 7.3, and stab another hole at that point. That will be your compass. Once you're done making the compass, it should look a little something like this. You have a stabilizer pen that goes in this hole, and here is the hole for the pen that actually moves. Next, you're going to want to find the midpoint of the paper that matches the color of your hat by folding hamburger and hot dog and pinching the middle very gently each time, like that. When you're finished folding, you should get a crease around here that looks something like this. Now mark that midpoint. Alright, now put your stabilizer point and pen on the midpoint of the paper that you just drew and draw your initial circle. Alright, now poke another hole in your compass as close to the edge of the paper as possible and draw another circle. That will be your brim. This paper compass was a little bit hard to work with. If you have a regular compass, you should use that. Without a regular compass, this does work okay. Alright, now we're going to cut the brim out by cutting this outside part and the inside part away, but by leaving the inside circle intact. Once you cut it out, it should look a little something like this. Make changes as necessary to make sure that the brim can fit around the hat. Once you have adjusted the ring so that it fits over the top of the hat, apply glue liberally to the inside ring. Once you've applied glue liberally, slide it over the top of your hat, right, until you get to the tabs at the bottom. Press down until dry. To attach the top of the hat, place 4 pieces of tape, sticky side out, and very carefully lay the top on the tape. Should look something like this. Now you're going to want to cut a strip from the red paper, the whole length of the paper, and 4 centimeters tall. The ribbon should look like this when you're done. Wrap it around the hat and tape it in the back. Now take your white piece of paper and cut out a rectangle 10 by 12 centimeters. When you have it cut out, write the classic 10/6 on it to finish it up. Put the card in the ribbon at an angle and then take your 2 bobby pins and poke them through the brim, and that will keep the hat to your head. Once you have the bobby pins in place, you can put it on your head and attend an unbirthday party. I'm late! I'm late for a very important crafting session. Let's make some bunny ears. The materials you'll need are red and white construction paper, a headband, glue stick and/or tape, a ruler, pen, and scissors. Start by taking your paper and folding it in half. Then you're going to draw a rectangle 1.5 by 2 inches tall. Should look a little something like this. Now, draw a 1/2 inch line from both of these points right here, like such. Now you're going to find the midpoint of the bottom of your rectangle, which is going to be 3/4 of an inch. From that midpoint, measure up 8 inches and mark that point. This will be the tip of your ear right up there. Now, draw a line, a rounded line, from the little 1/2 inch point all the way up to the point of the ear, and it should look a little something like this. Time to cut out the whole thing. Once you cut it out, you should get a shape something like this. Open it up, cut it in the middle, and you should get your ears. All right, now for the inner ear. Take your red piece of paper, fold it in half, and you're going to want to mark 1.5 inches. Find the midpoint of that 1.5 inch line, 3/4 of an inch, and measure up 4 inches and mark that point. That will be the tip of the inner ear. Once you have that marked, draw a similar shape to the regular ear. For the inner ear, it should look something along the lines of this. Now you're going to want to cut it out. Once you cut it out, you should get a shape like this. Cut it in the middle, and you have your inner ears. Now tape or glue the inner part of the ear to the outer part. Once you're done taping and or gluing, they should look a little something like this. Alright, now take your headband and wrap the tab of the ear around the headband, shaping it to the headband and taping it to the back. Once you do this for both ears, they should look a little something like this. Now, you are a rabbit, and you're just on time.
Thanks, Karina. Now on to makeup. You don't really need makeup in Alice in Wonderland, but if you have access to it, I would suggest putting some red lipstick on if you play the Queen, and only the Queen. So if you have to switch characters and one of them is the Queen, probably don't do it, because then they'd all have red lipstick. But if you're just the Queen, red lipstick might be a good idea. Like I said, these technical tips are just guidelines, and you can include as much or as little tech as you would like in your performance. Your focus should always be on the acting. So as you rehearse your play following this video, focus on you and your castmates' performance as you include the technical elements. Run through your show until you can get through it smoothly with your lines completely memorized. It's okay if this takes a few days. You get to decide when your performance is. Once you feel fully ready and you've got all the tech you would like added to your performance, invite your family and put on your show. You and your family can share your performance with us on social media by tagging us and using the hashtag #HomegrownTheaterCamp. You can find us on social media here. We'll watch all the videos at the end of the weekend and include a few in our curtain call video next week. You spent this week exploring Wonderland, performing and speaking as some fantastic characters, and adding tech to your very own performances. You have all the tools to put on a great show this weekend. Good job this week. You've got this. Break a leg. Thank you for watching Homegrown Theater Camp. You can subscribe to join the cast and download the script from our website. Homegrown Theater Camp is produced by Blixt Locally Grown, with support of the Nebraska Arts Council, the Nebraska Cultural Endowment, the Pearle Francis Finigan Foundation, Union Bank and Trust, and generous individual donors.